Hey guys, James here. Today I'm talking about Florida. That's right, Florida, where Cardone Capital has 19 properties that people rent from. But Florida has a major problem: unemployment. Oh my God, it is just the worst in the nation right now. They've had the highest uptick of unemployment in the nation. 26 million Americans are unemployed. Okay, it's only going to go higher. Next week it'll be 30 million, which would be almost half the population that works in this country will be unemployed. But Florida has a unique situation. Florida is a tourism, hospitality-based economy. So Disney shut down, Universal shut down, all the hotels are shut down from Tallahassee to Jacksonville to Key West. They're all shut down. People aren't going on vacation. And guess what? Once the economy starts, they're not going to go anyway. People are going to be unemployed for months and months. They're not going to go take the whole family. Let's go to Disney. Let's go to Key West. Let's go to Daytona. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Florida's economy is going to lag for months and months and months. While the rest of the country may come back in October, and November, Florida's going to lag 6 months to a year. I mean, you got to look at next spring and maybe Florida will be back in good numbers again. So what does this mean if you're a property owners? Well, it means a big problem. People aren't going to be able to pay the rent. Okay? People can't even get unemployment because Florida's so messed up right now, the system. But people can't pay the rent. It's a big problem. So if you're a property owner, it's just not apartment complexes and multifamilies. It's commercial properties in general, from strip malls to restaurants to office buildings. They're all facing the same problem. People aren't paying because they don't have any income. No money come in. Businesses are shut down, so they have no money to pay for the rent. So this affects everyone. So you got to remember how the hospitality system works in Florida. You have all these service companies that provide services to the hotels. All these companies provide services to Disney and Universal and all the restaurant and bars. You got laundry companies. You got liquor companies. You got all different services. People who make food, who make rolls, who make donuts. They're not working. They're not supported. There's no reason to work. So the hospitality in Florida is going to be bad for a long time because people are just, once they start working, they're not going to go on vacation. Let's be realistic. I was talking to friends of mine that telling me it's not going to go anywhere. Why? Why would they want to waste money? Because they don't know what's going to happen next month or next year. What's going to happen in 2021? Is there going to be a reoccurrence? What's going to happen? Is there going to be a reoccurrence in the fall? We don't know. But how does this affect property owners? Well, big problem, property owners have a fixed cost. That doesn't change, okay? So if you're like Grant Cardone and Cardone Capital, who went on a spending spree the last 3 years and doubled the amount of properties and doubled the amount of properties under management, you've got a little issue here. You got 19 properties in Florida, and it's a problem. Okay, you have a fixed cost. Between 50 and 70% of gross income goes to service the debt. That's not going to change. We know that the monthly receipts from rent are going to drop considerably. It's just the way it is. And Grant knows it, and everybody in the business knows it. Okay, so it's not Cardone Capital. It's everybody in the business who has rental properties, multifamilies. Realize there's an issue that people aren't going to be able to pay the rent. So it leaves them, how are they going to do it? What happens now if you're a big property owner, such as Cardone Capital? 19 properties in Florida alone. Your debt service stays there. You have less money coming in, but you still have to service the debt 50 to 70%. So that margin grows wider on less money. So how does he do that? How do they survive? How does somebody like Cardone Capital survive? How do these other commercial properties? Well, a lot of people aren't leveraged as much as Cardone Capital. I know everybody, oh, you know what you're talking about. Come on. Grant's been talking about leverage, okay? Now he's trying to deny it, but it's anywhere from 50 to 70% depending on the property, okay? Depending on the property. If he's buying a large property, he's not putting 50% down. If he's paying $140 million for a property, he's not putting 50% down, he's putting 30% down. And he finances the rest. That's how it works. Okay, just like anybody else. It's a common occurrence in business. That's how real estate works. But the big problem now is that you still have the obligations with less money in the pool. Before he had money in the pool, he could pay everybody, he had money coming in, the business. Things aren't like they were before. We're not in a recession, we're probably in a depression. We have almost 50% of the working people in this country not working. 26 million. Another 4 or 5 million people will be almost at 50% unemployment in this nation. It has never happened before. Our GDP is going to be minus 30. Come on. And unemployment's probably at about 25-30% right now. They're not showing it, but it's there. Okay, all these states have been ravaged with people trying to get unemployment. They can't get it. New Jersey has a problem. New York has a problem. Florida has a problem. The systems were never made to handle the volume of calls by people. It's really bad. You know, you have to wait for a phone call back. Sometimes you have to do these calls with people. There's just not enough staff to handle it, and the computer system just bogs down, and it doesn't go through. You get contact online, and it doesn't go through. So, what does this do to Florida? Florida is a laggard, and will always be a laggard. Okay, people are not going to go to Florida on vacation. So, what happens to all these people who have apartments? What happens to them? Some are going to go bankrupt. There's no other way around it. Some people are just going to walk away. Some people are going to go live with family. It's going to be, okay, just sue me then. You know, what are you going to do? How are you going to get me to pay the money? People are just going to do what they got to do to survive. Okay, in Florida, 40% of the people who live in Florida are in rental units. Okay, 2 out of 3 people who rent are paying 30% of their income towards property to live there. And under the U.S. government, it's called cost burden when you pay more than 30% of your income for rent. That means you can't pay enough money for food, or you might not have enough money for clothing or other necessities that you would use for your family. So what's the first thing people are going to do? Keep food on their table. Okay, that's the biggest problem. So when people have rental properties like Cardone Capital, you have a big issue here now. How do you finance your debt? What do you do? He's not going to go in forbearance, because then he will never get a loan again. He knows it. There's people, and real estate forbearance is up around the country. People are paying their mortgage. It's up big time. But what does Grant do now? What does Cardone Capital do? Did he try and refinance? Who's going to refinance $1 billion in debt? We don't know. You know, what's he doing? How is he going to do it? He stopped paying the dividends. Obviously, that was the first thing. What is he going to do now? I don't know. We'll find out soon. Take care.